Testing, testing, testing. Okay, we have audio. Let me just put some music in the background. SaGa? Yes. Okay. There are some ads. Hopefully not other ads inside the video. It's just YouTube placing ads because the channel doesn't even have 1,000 subs. Tell me if you enjoy the music. Hello, Nameless. How are you? Permanent Bandit and Capivar are here. I'm here for more Minstrel Showcase. That would be hard, my friend. That would be hard. Okay, so let me say that we are live. We are live. Music's very quiet. What about now? Good. Nice. So my friends, welcome to another stream. I will be removing the chat box, I guess. So do you guys want the chat box on the screen? I think it's better to remove it entirely if we are to check now Roma SaGa. So that we have full screen. So we got the announcement of 2 banners on yesterday's reset. Welcome, Guardian Auto. Welcome, Solid Snake as well. And those banners were Katarina and Julian. And we have a winner here, and it's a clear winner. But, of course, they buffed both banners. Just one character didn't got buffs, and this character is Miko. Because Miko is good enough already. They don't need to change him. He has a very clear design. So, in the case of Katarina, she already had a better banner, and her buffs made the banner even better. And they wouldn't need a lot of buffs to make Julian's banner better than Katarina, and that was actually impossible, I believe. So, for many people, those that don't have many gens, I believe that summoning for Katarina banner will be better, and we'll be discussing this, especially if I'm missing some point. Sometimes I may get stuff wrong, so that's why we are doing this, in order to see everybody's opinion, if you agree with me or not. Then I'll make the reviews. As you can see, they buffed Katarina, STR, Agility, and Will. Wait, this water is tasting strange. Okay, got another one. Back. Mario Hardy, welcome, my friend. How are you doing? Are you on a free time now? You are a Katarina fan as well, and a Julian fan. Wanna know if you'll be pulling. Akai says, pull Katarina, Julian, and Alan, case closed. Julian and Alan. Why Alan? We have a case about Alan, and that's not really great. Maybe you are talking about a fan perspective. Guardian says, I'm just here to learn about stuff stacking. Buff stacking, okay. We'll be talking about that. Are these banners better than Hardy banner? Overall, if you know how to use Monica, she can be a BP battery. She can replace Hardy. If you don't have many gens, pulling here is better because you have 4 units. This banner will be receiving a gold award. I'm already sure about that. One of the few ones to receive this year. Stack boost stack, but usually cap it in turn. Cap it? Let's check about that, Moon Moon. Hi Eric, welcome. They are different banners to you. I'm a fan of no one share. We'll see about that. Let's check the characters one by one, and we'll see. Heat up mostly permanent. Heat up is always permanent. Guardian Aurora. Auron says that I'm a big fan of Julian and Katarina. Of course, you're using a Julian picture. Mario Hart says, yes, sir, I am, because I haven't been playing the game, just logging daily. I don't have as many gens as I used to, but what I have in C to get lucky. Maybe some of the content that you haven't done, you get some free gens later, right? Like permanent content. Don't do the challenge stage, do that stage 20, you get some free gems. Books will also give you lots of gens once you complete them. Pavel Cloud says, wish I could join the fun. Google account link is not working in support. Are not responding for almost a week. Pavel Cloud says, that's strange, Pavel. Join our Discord server. Try to discuss with people on the help channel, because I think some people had this problem but still managed to get into the game. Some other people could not. I'm not so sure what you can do, but maybe there's some trick. Is they changing Ellen's A1? She's a decent debuffer though. RNG. I think she's more of a competitor to Paulo somehow. Well, let's talk first about Katarina. You guys can stop me and make all the questions you want, so that we'll be talking about how good she can be. Katarina, like I said, she has goodwill, but always bad endurance. And then enough dexterity, she won't be missing on UniverSe fights. Starts the fight with 12 BP because of her skill 3. Wait, she cannot use skill 3 on a start, right? Turn begins, recovers 2. No, she doesn't start with 12, sorry. Turn begins. Turn starts with 10, right? She has to wait till turn 2. No, that skill can be decreased to 10. My bad. So she starts with 10, but gets 5 EP at least. That's nice. That's important. You can use skill number 3. That already gives at least 2 defense boosts of small effect. Those will have 15% value. Small is 15%. That's important because we'll see this very... all the time here. On each attack. So it's either 1 stack of 15%... Sorry, 2 stacks of 15% or 3 stacks of 15%. It is RNG, 15%. It's stackable but multiplicatively, and it certainly helps decrease damage taken. It's not the only way that she decreases damage taken, but it's important to see that this lasts for 2 turns, so you have to reapply every 2 turns, or sometimes even attack it multiple times with this. The agility buff was nice. Yes, because this skill is not fast. That's important. Getting higher agility will allow her to go before the enemy, but still rely on position on the formation. So okay, she gets at least 5 EP per turn. This attack boosts large effect. We need to check on JP, because many times the passive attack boost is different than the active attack boost, and I don't really know the difference. There's a table on SaGa Wiki Discord as well that helps with that, but let me go here and check Katarina. It is important. Oh, that's the Katarina, and they are having every run of this Katarina on JP. That's what it says. It doesn't translate how much you get from this. It should be 15% because it's AoE. Ability, large 15%. Yeah. So 15% free attack boost every turn for everyone. And she will also give this heat up 10% for the whole fight 5 times to all allies. It's 15%, it's not 20, Kai. Moon was saying, Auron, I'm too like Julian. I remember his previous style as a tank cover. It's incredibly good back then, and now this Julian have cover in his ability. I don't think the cover was ever all that useful, but it's a nice touch. So, 50% increase in damage for free, stable, does not have to trigger anything else. We'll talk about Khed later, that can give much more than this. It takes just 5 turns, that's okay, but eventually it's just like 65% damage increase for free just from this. But it's actually more, because she has another 15% increase in damage at all times. So you actually have 80% damage increase for everyone by turn 5 and beyond, for free. She also decreases damage taken for everyone by 25%. 25%. It was 10% only. They increased it to 25%. That's like already having one extra stack of defense boost active at all times. Then on turn begins, she grants this. This is kind of crazy. I don't know the name in JP. No, it's really weak defense. Weak defense. When you land a weak attack, that means that you have to use the right element to land an attack versus the enemy. This will not happen all the time. You have to remember that if you are bringing people like Liz, for example, she doesn't attack. Like Darius, he doesn't attack. You have to use different characters that usually attack to get the best effect. When you land this weak attack, you will trigger this defense boost medium. So you will decrease damage taken by 25%, lasts for 2 turns, stackable. It will also be buffing your endurance and will by a large. Large should be 20%, right? I need to check this. It doesn't say, but medium is 15, 20. Should be 20. 20% endurance and will. And this can trigger 2 times, meaning that it's part of the passive from Empress. Matriarch allows you to buff up to 20% on each hit up to 2 times. So you can get free buffs just by attacking. She requires you to land a weak attack, unlike Matriarch that's universal, because they are different and she gives lots of defense boosts, so she needs a little more restrictions. She will allow them to also self-recover HP. Look, they are increasing their resistances. They are self-buffing. This very small healing is for 1 turn. So, okay, this effect lasts for 1 turn because it triggers every turn. But the defense boost is stackable, lasts for 2 turns. And this also helps in fights when, for example, you cannot buff because all your buffs are lost in the end of turn. So if your characters are fast, they will be attacking and self-buffing. And a part of offensive resist that she gives to everyone as well. If you resist an attack, that's a little harder to achieve. You will not be able to resist everything all the time, but equipments are helping with this. You can trigger 2 times this attack boost that increases damage potential by 15%, lasts for 2 turns, so you can get as much as 30% in 1 turn and another 30 in the other turn to reach the max of 60, right? Max of 60, but you only feel that much in characters in fights where the enemies attacks multiple times, right? You need to resist 2 times, so you get 30 and then another 2 times. Depends, if the enemy goes before you, you will then feel all the effects, 60%. If you attack before the enemy, you will actually only feel that 30% max. Usually you have at least 30. If the enemy uses too many attacks or many areas. You will also be buffing your STR, Dexterity, and Intelligence by 20%. So, just by resisting damage, you are getting offensive status. It's kind of like a reverse situation. You attack an enemy by using the right element, and you get defense. And endurance will buff. And heal. But when you resist, you get an attack boost. You buff your offensive status. And you also recover 1 BP to allies. This is the part that I don't fully understand. Recovers 1 BP every time that they get hit. Someone that plays JP, please explain this part to me. Katarina only works on weak attacks, right? It's not just that. She will still work without it, but the perfect situation, yes. To have usage for all of her kit, yes. Self-attack boost should be 20 if it's single target. Self-attack boost is single target, yeah. You may be right. Large effect. Attack boost. No, because it's rank... No, passively is 20. Yeah, you're right. The 1 turn is for weakness defense, offense, and offensive resist. Triggers for max 2 times. Okay. But what about the BP to everyone? When you receive a resist attack, the following effects will be activated. It says that you recover 1 BP. Every time that you are hit, if everyone gets hit by an AoE attack, if everyone will get 1 BP. Yes, up to 2 times. Exactly, Neoflux. That's what I was asking. It's still a lot of effects, right? Also, welcome. First, Miko. Yeah, it's capped for 1 turn, Moon says. It says 1 turn because it triggers 1 turn every turn. So, you always have this effect. But you can only trigger 2 times. See, receives, resist attack. You get all of these effects 2 times. You can get 2 BP, 2 20% attack boost in, and 2 20% offensive status buff. Just by receiving a resisted attack. But the thing here was that if your characters are attacking before a boss, you will only see this attack boost 2 times, and not 4 times. If a boss attacks before you, then okay, you can see 4 stacks. In buffs, the same thing. Well, if your character has a chase attack, no, sorry, the chase attack is part of the offensive part. This part here is you'll be getting around 40% buff at least per turn if the enemy attacks multiple times. Still very nice. And we can use characters that can increase status passively, like Rock Bouquet as well, or Matriarch. But in fights where you are allowed to buff, not all fights are allowed to buff. Her passive is a bit confusing for the first time. Yeah, it's because it's a new type of passive. It kind of mixes some old utility, but it's new. And besides all of that, she still has, look, 30% damage increase at all times. She reduces damage to herself as well by 30. And when attack lands, she will also get another speed up. And it's 5 times per battle, so it actually triggers much faster than you think, because she chases with Moulin Rouge every time she attacks. Moulin Rouge Plus is very close to double S power, if I remember correctly. No, it's double S power. The first one was S power, close to double S. Now it's double S with 55. That's super close to triple S. Triple S, I think, starts with 56. So it's a free attack, and Moulin Rouge covers both slash and pierce. So that's helpful because she has slash and pierce in most skills, save for the first where it's slash and cold. The third one, okay, the third one is slash and cold as well, sorry. So, in order for her to trigger the weak all the time, the enemy will have to beat weak to slash. Yes. But the most important thing is that you will be able to control the defensive part. Defensive part that actually gives you offensive status. You are able to resist much easier than able to land weak attacks. Just equip your character accordingly, he will resist, and then you will get that attack boost, STR Dexterity Intelligence buffs, and also 2 BP. This is easy to trigger. This other thing here is not so easy to trigger all the time, but sometimes you want to use a character that's not even strong versus the enemy, like Joe. Joe is not always strong versus an enemy, or Alkaiser, but we use them because of their utility. If we attack the enemy which resists, we got the BP. No, it's not that we attack, it's that we receive an attack and we resist, we get the BP. Full fence with her alarm from UDX. You can also use that from UDX. Alarm, it's a 2-hit skill, right? But in her case, she only triggers 2 times per turn. It's not like she needs. She always chases. Look, you say that she wants to use alarm. That's the skill. Alarm uses Wake Up and then Moulin Rouge. Bad combo with Matriarch, Liz, and Darius, who never attacks. Yeah, but it's still a good combo with Matriarch because she gives even more buffs when you are attacking. Just forget about her own buffs, but everyone else has to attack if possible. But she works better with Rock Bouquet that attacks and chases. It's the weak defense, it's that we attack, right? Yes, yes, Mumu. If you got hit but you resisted the enemy attacks, then you get... Yes, exactly. I don't think that she needs that. Because why would you, Eikai? She wants to cast defense boosts. If you use skill number 3, she casts 2 defense boosts. Why go offensive with her? Survival's priority. I know that this skill is pretty weak if you consider that you hit 2 times with E-Power. There are 2 BP skills that hit 2 times with E-Power. But who doesn't like to sustain? The only inheritance you might need, sure. Just saying, her role is just spamming and existing. You love sustaining, right, WP? That's how we win the first try. Somehow. If you can keep that defense boost, you prefer to use this instead of alarm. You're answering Miko's stock question. Chaos Piper says, Ice Fox or Ballet, if the boss doesn't do many spells, can be okay, inherit, but yeah, she doesn't need any. Could be okay, yeah, but then, look, why would you want to use Ice Fox or Ballet? It decreases by 35, right? Here we have at least 2 stacks of 15%, and then a chance of a third. Ice Fox or Ballet cost the same. Or is it 9 on global? I don't remember. I think it's 9 on global, no? It does decent damage, better than most GS we have at the moment. I don't know if she's better than Razen, but... Or a fully stacked, no. Really? I was saying about... Katarina, yeah. Katarina Rapier style. If it's... No, it's still 10. This decreases by 35. Because it's 3 turns. Yeah, that makes sense. Being 3 turns makes sense. You will not want to use her as a healer, but theoretically, Ice Impact is nice because it still triggers sometimes 2 hits. But why? Healer... For Great Sword, you have Empress, very popular character. Obviously not better than Razen, Nord, and Jen. Okay. But better than the rest. Let's see. If we were deciding to go full damage with her, then maybe she'll reach a good potential, but in the end, it's more about sustain. My cat! Oh my god. Popoquinho, come here. Just playing around here in the park. Speaking English when my cats, I speak with them Brazilian Portuguese all the time. So, okay, we discussed this part. We didn't even check her skills fully yet. The first one is just like the same as Empress. It's a 0 BP. The Empress one is 1 BP, right? Was it 3 on JP as well? Yes, it's 3 on JP. The Empress version uses 1 BP. And this is free, so you gave Guard Up Small for 1 turn to all allies. Decreases damage taken by 12%. But it's free, and she does have okay agility now. Skill number 2 you'll not be using much, but you can see that it heals herself only. It's kind of like that skill from Vampire Lady, Global X style that no one liked it. Own HP only, so you never use this one. The third instead has the 2 to 3 times defense boost. So you just be stacking defense boost via skill 3 and 1. Nice music. It's SaGa Jazz. So there's a lot of effects here, and you have to control your squad. You have to choose well who to combo, like New Flux was saying. We need to choose characters that attack, usually not Liz, Matchwork, and Darius. They can still work, but they will not take full benefit of the squad. It's better to get characters that buff when they attack. Blood Moon Totality. But that is a self and Randall. Yeah, that's one. It's even better than this. So this is a really, really bad skill. So a character that has okay damage. I will feel like her damage would be similar to All Kaiser damage, and I do believe that her impact in the meta is similar to All Kaiser impact. A little different than Joe impact, but similar to All Kaiser impact. A character that has damage but also has sustain. and helps the party do damage as well. Kaiser can use that morale up and you help. He has the evasion, well, she has different stuff. She has better defenses than Kaiser. She buffs. It's like a hybrid idea of Kaiser and Matriarch somehow. No one cares about that Global X banner. I never did. That A2C reduces by 25 like Impress and F. Exactly, Kai. It was buffed. It was just 10% in JP. Here is 25. And they gave another 15% damage increase. Improved it. And now we have Kali. That was a character that I didn't fully understand. I was talking about him yesterday. But, well, correct me if I'm wrong here. Let's check it out. It doesn't have the when all allies are alive description. No, it's just like Impress. Look, Impress has the same. Death was 25% too, and then they changed it to 30%. Impress has the same description. Reduces damage taken for all allies, large effect. Impress is cracked. She was so useful for so much time. She still is. So it's the same effect. Does not rely on people being alive. Hey, Thiago Travi, welcome. Beautiful people, thank you. You are beautiful too. That's quite a huge. I forgot that. She helped you a lot, Guardiola, and will keep helping. I don't think anyone will want to replace her on Great Sword squads. Is she one of the most reliable evasion units? Yes, she gives a full evasion when not on full HP. The better BP batteries we get, the more utility we can get out of her. Scrum Guard effect still hits me hard. Yes, we have to bring lots of defenses now. Before, we could use just 2 or 3 Scrum Guards and we were totally protected. We just needed to buff Endurance and Will. Nice. Now we have to bring 1 defensive passive with all of your characters and more. Oh, that's just the sign of power crit. They changed Khalid, Endurance, and Will so that he now has 92%. It's good. It's not a SaGa, it's real tanks, but his agility is amazing, 112%. STR is 123, a good value. Khed fully replaces Valdor. Khed? Valdor? Because of the 2 EP decrease? Yeah. For Great Sword, yeah, it makes sense. Who fully replaces Valdor is Monica as a VP cost decrease. But okay, Khalid starts the turns, he gets 2 VP. No, wait, we're still checking on Katarina, sorry. Khalid has 30% damage increase at all times. There's another 30 here for 60. Yeah, 60% damage increase. Starts the fight with 13. When attacking, chases with Damloon Echo. And 50% chance to chase with Storm, Lightning, Flash. It's good to check on JP now because you understand which is the guarantee chase and which is the chance chase. The guarantee chase is the S power attack. Should have been higher. And the other is Storm, Blade, Lightning, Sword. That has 3 hits of D power, but this one is not guaranteed. You have only a chance. When you attack, you have a 50% chance to grant yourself this Lightning Lock for 3 times. The Lightning Lock is when you use a lightning attack, you then grant an attack boost. This is 10% for 2 turns. No turn limit means that you can use this passive forever. But you can trigger 3 times this 10% attack boost. Is that right? WP says it's basically 4 cards support a single DPS. That's why our DPSs are now extremely powerful. It's a big nuker and nothing else. You think it's 5% because it's overall? It's confusing. JP will not say, I guess. Yeah, it's 5% only. It's 5%. When it's AoE, it's 5%. When it's single target, it's 10. So just 5 from this. This is not the most important thing about him, the character. Then he grants himself this defense boost. The defense boost is 15%. For 2 turns. Stackable, so he can get it up to 3 times. And when attack lands, also recovers 1 BP. Or is it all related to the chins? It's confusing. Look who appeared here, the one that got hurt a little while ago. Popoquinho. I wanna say hi, Popoquinho. Ah, no, he doesn't. What a bite. Mal ability is 10%. Are you sure, New Flux? Because here it just says that it's 5% as a whole. Ability is Mal 5%. Hello, ZT Games, welcome. Defense boost MVP is separate from Lightning Lock. It doesn't feel like that when you read the translation, right? So this is separated because of... okay, Lightning Lock is just this part. No turn limit. And when attack lands, you also have this defense boost small for 2 turns. That will be stacking and recover BP. This is actually very important for his counter setup if you want to use the counter setup. You said to scroll down. Ability overall small 5%. Okay. Let's see what else. Skill number 1, when attack lands, grants slash defense down and lightning defense down. This is very similar to attack that ScherBR has. Decreases each by 15%. 2 turns. It's usually to cycle this and some other stronger attack. And your Google Translate is messed up. It says 10% in Japanese. The defense boost is 10%, no? If the defense boost is 10%, no, wait. Single targets is 15%. 10% if it's AoE. We can check that out by going to that SaGa wiki document and search for Khed. Khed. No, that's not the Khed we want. Not this one as well. That's the one. He was looking at the defense. Ah, yeah, the defense is 10% for AoE, 15% for a single target. No worries then. The second skill before attacking grants lightning lock 3 times. No turn limit to all allies then attack. So that value that you said that if you reach like 100 and something damage increase was because you thought it was higher. Lightning lock 3 times, no turn limit to all allies then attack. Ah, to all allies, he casts 2 allies. But you have to use lightning attacks to get the effects. So he's a lightning leader. Because everyone can then send more attack boosts to everyone else's. Or mono elemental team incoming. It's never worked so fine. If each one gives 15% to each other and you have a full lightning squad, you could reach 75%. This only stack for max of 2 turns. It will reach 150% plus another 30 at max because of Khed itself. 180 at max, but that's like not the real case scenario because you have to remember that your characters will attack separately. So it's not like you have all the effects on the turn. No, start with 75 on the second turn and then you start attacking with each one, and then I really like that. Rock says hi. Yeah, Rock says hi. She attacks multiple times. If you can keep the second skill up, and she changes a lot. Rock and Creator. Creator's getting old a little. Merlot Sire as well. That's too many ifs, sure. Too many ifs. That's why I don't know. JP says that he's very strong. I need to see something more. Okay, this third one, it's a 13 VP skill. That's a lot of VP. They will grant the lightning and defense down. This is something that we found on someone else. Who was it? It's lightning defense down. When that enemy is attacked by a lightning attack, it will receive defense down. That is Sundered. Same thing as Sundered. But it says medium effect. I'm not so sure if it's 20%. I think it's 20%. Hey, he doesn't have this in JP? Pretty much lightning laceration. Laceration is large. Oops, wrong website. It was my home YouTube channel. Hachi. Her is large. Large effect. Hers is 35. Medium is 25. Small is 10 to 15 if you can level up, right? I just know that laceration is 35. This one is guaranteed and for 2 turns. Yeah. 35, but it's not guaranteed. He didn't have this in JP. 2 turns to the target. But it's, in her case, you need to land a weak attack. In this case, you need to use that specific attack. It's pretty much what you get with Rouge. We are forgetting about Rouge. It's Rouge who has a similar method. Look, Rouge casts that weak point. Exactly. Medium effect 2 turns. Here is when attacked by a shadow attack. There is when attacked by a lightning attack, but it's the same case. With Rouge was 25%, right? Doesn't have to be a weak attack, of course. That's how we tested Rouge, and Rouge was doing a lot of damage even against neutral. You can make a lightning squad if you have a favorite lightning squad work in any scenario. Rouge was the closest. Yeah, I think he's the closest. I don't think there's any other character with this same setup here in Global yet. I am seeing this type of passive in JP a lot. I don't remember Rouge. Sorry, all Rouge fanboys and fangirls. Ah, he has a lot. Guys, we have 40 people watching in 40 minutes of stream. If you can please click the like button, it will help the channel so much. If you can also help us reach this midterm goal, we are trying to reach 200 USDs in order to pay the health plan that I have to pay tomorrow. So today is the last day that I can gather funds to pay. If not, I will have to pay some extra taxes. This channel lives totally via donations. I mean, mostly, because the ads barely pay anything, and via the membership system. So if you can help, that would be greatly appreciated. But if you can't, just watching the videos, especially the remembrance videos that I'm posting, and not posting too many per day because it hurts the algorithm, and clicking the like button and videos also helps so much. But like I was saying, this type of effect happens a lot on GP now. I will not remember the specific characters because I'm not using them, so I don't remember much. But Khed is still an Ishe unit. Guys, as a whole, how many people have used that Rouge? If you're not a fan of the character, and if you're thinking about this in a more meta way, Rouge is not meta, he never was. Of course, Khed is much better than Rouge when you think that he increases damage via other methods, but Khalid's not giving any defensive passive or anything, so it's still very easy to skip, I have to say. Even if he is very useful, it's another slash damage dealer, and we can say that forget about the slash part, he's a very good lightning damage dealer. But then we will get Kihachi with lightning damage as well, so you have to see that. And this Khed can become very useful because of that inheritance from his what's the name of that? Valentine style. Valentine style has this skill that's now pitiable. Tempest Moon. It's fast, and he attacks first with double S power, and he counters with Demi-Lune. Imagine if they break the game again and allow you to counter and chase after a counter like they did with Torpe. So he will counter with Tempest Moon. No, wait. Tempest Moon plus hits with triple S. Sorry. And counters with Demi-Lune Echo. That is S power. Okay. So it's 9 BP, it's already nice. If you want to use him as your counter unit, if you skip it Julian, he works super well. And his attacks have the lightning effect, so he will keep triggering more and more damage as the fight goes on. And he will not have problems with BP as well, because he gets when he hits. And that skill is now 9. Bright Khed, Broom Khed. Why a Bright? They make Lightning Kihachi just like her cold one if you're gonna have a lot of fun with Khed. Yeah, because the enemies will be super weak to lightning. You can use him as the companion, like we are using Erpina now. And Erpina is not even the perfect companion, to be honest. If we had someone else that would also allow to decrease the defenses of the enemy via slash, it will be a better companion. But Erpina also gets to overdrive a lot, so people use her because of that. So Khed is nice, he's strong. If you don't have many gens, I would suggest you like to play with non-meta units, with niche units. He's very useful, especially if you are thinking about going for Kihachi, but overall, I really think people can skip this guy. It will not have an everlasting effect. But you do you. Katarina, so far, the best one. What do you guys think? 25% for 2 turns, so I believe that you will not be using this. If you want to get all the extra damage, you want to use skill 3, and even 2 times in a row if possible. With Hardy, maybe possible. Hey, El Chuchu, welcome. I'm fine with my summer Khed still. Do you use him? Agree, very much a small range of use for Khed. Chaos Popper say, yeah, not a character to put specifically for unless you like him, but strong. I'll go talk about Thomas and his Feebles Rainbow Cloak Unicorn art. Ha 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 ha. Oh yeah. Katarina, and where you can see that art, it doesn't show completely here, but he looks like a unicorn, yeah. Let's go to Miko. Miko is the same as Merlot Sarah, but even probably a little bit stronger. Thomas is OP. If you love him, yeah. Miko has 123% dexterity. How much STR we have with Mirrorlot? $120. And stat won't be the main thing, but look, we have 25% damage increase here, and then 30, and then 30 again. No, 40 and 30. Spear Arcana. No, this is 30 and 20. So this makes for 50, 75% damage increase with Mirrorlot. And Mirrorlot first hit is B power, and then it becomes weaker. So Miko has C power as well, but he has much higher damage. He has 90% just from this. And then another 20. He has 110%, so higher damage than Mirrorlot Siren, and has fast stance. Can be used on the Rearguard focus formation for grind. Instead of being Lightning and Pierce, that's a very good combination. He is then Pierce and Sun, but he's much more similar to Basalt and Dentard because he has both a single target and an AoE cycle. Hello Lobonox, welcome, waiting for a new banner. It's gonna arrive pretty soon. All that matters, which one is faster. It will be Miko always, because he can use the Rearguard focus formation and then trigger the fast stance. But in the end, it's not all about the agility. Look, he has 110% agility. 115%, and Mirrorlot has the same. No, 115, 110. Not gonna make any difference. We have higher damage with Miko. But there's one interesting thing about Miko. You can record a version of Miko on Free Quest, for example, where he can probably, focus on probably, kill almost all types of enemies. No, wait. Weak attack increases, right? Part of his damage potential comes from weak attack. You only have a 50%. No, I don't think so. 50% 3 times with C power will not kill other stages that are neutral. I think not. But many times I used Mirrorlot, and I recorded 3 hits in a stage where the enemies were not weak, and Mirrorlot could farm. But let me check Mirrorlot here. Part of the damage of Mirrorlot comes from weak as well. Weak. Here we only had 30, then 25. I believe yes. Sometimes 3 hits will allow Miko to farm any stage. Much like the 5 hits single target. No, I used it left work in some stages and it was not enough. Maybe AoE, but not single target. I have a GP account to look on the new characters occasionally, but you don't play. Oh, okay. It's nice. I had once JP account as well. Just for fun. So, people without Mirrorlot Syra will totally want this Miko, but people with Mirrorlot Syra can keep using Mirrorlot Syra if they want. So, if you don't get Miko, don't mind. Most of the people will be grinding with Hardy for free now, training 5 characters. What kind of username is that? What do you mean by username? If I remember correctly, at least it's an element for farming, still unique. For Sun. I don't remember any other Sun units. Ah, Permanent Bennett. Yeah, I don't know why I used that name. But he's also known as El Chuchu. And then we have Monica. And the changes made to Monica are pretty interesting. She's a BP battery in the reverse way, like Valdor was in the past. She has low entrance, 75 only, 91 will, it's just okay. All units are coming with 80s and 90s will unless they are mages or tanks. Her agility is pretty high, that is important, she needs to have fast agility. So, it's interesting to discuss this character because she has this fast stance on start of battle. First turn, she will always be fast. And you don't want to use her skill number 2, you want to use this skill 3. They changed the BP cost to 8. So when she's using this with a fast stance, she will grant herself this A2. Again, it's double the effect of her second passive. This will last then for 3 turns, and then she will attack. This will stack. So, turn 1, you use 8 BP. And then, she's already on a fast stance. She will attack a single target with A power. That's ridiculous. Damage is non-existent with this character. But, she will, before attacking, grant this attack boost and defense boost to our allies. Attack boost is 10%. Defense boost is 15%. It's 15% or not, guys? It's passive, right? Let me check. I have to double check this all the time. It's super confusing. Even JP hasn't got another Sun Farmer. You remember. Okay. You only have juice for 3 pulls. I can only pull and hope for the best. Or maybe wait before you decide. Uflux says, I don't really understand why, but now has Khed listed as a Summerlin level 4 damage without his Global X under it. Summerlin level 4 damage? Where can you see that? Because starting from these banners, at least a little before these banners, they don't have an article for characters anymore. Even now, Roma SaGa got burned out. It's because they had to write the article too fast, like next day, 2 days, about all characters and deciphering everything. But they had the data mine in their hands that would help a little. But even then, it's a lot of theory craft and comparisons, a lot of minimal work that is not done anymore. So you can check here, look, this Monica, there's no article. So this Khed being on top of Summerlin, it's crazy. But there's a lot of people voting for him, so he must be popular. And under damage ranking, you go to the damage calculation and then damage ranking. We're talking about the damage ranking here. Ah, this one is not working. Ah, here. Or maybe it's not calculating well enough. The one with the crawl icon. Damage ranking. I have to open a new tab, or else it will bug everything here. One second, guys. I have to do something pretty fast here. I just checked it for lightning GPS under damage ranking. Ah, you check it for lightning, so Leon was doing neutral. Here we have King Hatchet and Silver. A version of Gwen. Ah, Miko! Summerlin. Ah, it's because Summerlin is being accounted for neutral. But this Khed will do less than... Oh, the Zorluge for lightning? He's not even lightning. That shows how lacking they are for lightning overall. Versus Lightning Weak. Makes sense. I don't know, maybe they are just so much of a fan of Khed that... Yeah, he works, but like I said, it's about, you know, choosing the right characters to pull for if you are after meta. Because if you are after meta, you have to think well. You will not have gens to pull for everyone. And if you get your characters soon, the main one, You should not be keep pulling. Okay, let's go back to Monica so that we don't lose focus. Like I said, she starts with that fast stance, and you use Q3. So it will check that she's on a fast stance, and then we'll give her a double effect of her passive number 2, and then attack. So she will attack, do terrible damage, and then she will apply this attack boost medium. That should be 10% only. And the defense boost will probably be 10%. That's where I was, right? I needed to check Monica defense boost. Defense boost for AoE. Small is 10%. Okay, defense boost of 10%, but it's only for one turn. That's the worst part. To all allies. It was just to other than self. Now it applies to herself in global. And she will grant a -1 BP reduction. But in this case, it's to all allies other than self. So, she will attack 2 times. The BP cost is just for 1 turn. But she has this passive doubled for 2 times. So you use this right now, and she will give all of these effects 2 times. She's in a fast stance, meaning that everyone that uses their skills will have a discount of 2 BP. That's on turn 1. And then by the end of every turn ends, she recovers 2 BP. Every time she attacks, she also has... Oh, wait. Sorry, she actually does much better than that. When attacking, she always chases. Let's see. Perhaps his chases 50% is calculated as guarantee. She gives it 4 times. Yes, Influx, because of the Bloom Rain. Because of the Bloom Rain. Because it consider it's a new attack. It's a new attack. 2 attacks with 2 stacks. So she will decrease the BP cost by 4 points for everyone. She will give 4 times this attack boost. So it will increase damage by 40%. She will also give 4 stacks of defense boost, decreasing damage taken by 10% 4 times. So that's what happens here. That's turn 1. All of his effects only last for this turn. But since it's fast, it will go before the enemy, right? It can get to 8 stacks, yeah, but to get there, we have to discuss the next turn. Bloom Rain was buffing in global. Yeah, Bloom Rain has very small healing. Dexterity and Charisma buff as well. Bloom Rain. It is column attack, double S power, Dexterity Charisma buff, very small healing. Yeah. You have to be fast. Then let's go. You got these 2 stacks, and you already did all of this on turn 1, so that when you start the fight, you don't have that many BP. Sometimes if you use your best skill, next turn you have 0. So she's helping you reduce the BP cost by 4. Okay, that is already game-changing for some situations. But what about the next turn? Okay, in the same turn, she will have a 50% chance only. That's where RNG starts happening. To get the other stance where she will be fast on the next turn. Okay. And she will prefer to do something else if she's not on fast. If she's not on fast, then on the next turn, you can use skill number 2. Why? Because this will decrease the cost by 5 instead. You can only use this once. But you start the fight with 1 charge. This will also give this attack boost extreme, but itself. It's just to decrease the BP cost to everyone else. But not to herself, so that's the worst part, right? So she loses that 5. Yeah. The best way to use this character is to still have another BP battery. Because she doesn't decrease BP to herself. And when she's attacking, she's also not giving BP reduction to herself. Because she's already attacking, it will now make sense. If you use the second skill, you are spending 5 VP that you always get, okay, but how do you get back to using skill 3? See where I'm getting? She still needs a secondary VP battery. It can be hard, it can be charade. But if she is getting that, she will allow even charade to attack with summer rain light arrows, and then that VP increase the 10 VP skill. Like you can switch between offensive and defensive mode of charade. And Hardy will keep using his skill 3 every turn, I don't know. Not every turn, because it's still 17, right? But that's the problem with the character itself. It is good, yes, but it has a problem with cycling things. You only have that 50% chance to be fast. And always, when you are fast, you then want to use skill 3. If you are not, you can even use skill 1. It's a 1 VP skill, and you will still get all of these effects. And she does have high agility, but if he doesn't go before the other characters in your party, they won't get anything from the attack boost or the BP reduction. Just that defense boost. If you either use it as S1, S3, or full S2 with RNG. You should have give her that 5 VP as well, because that will be a free skill to use. All allies other than self. Because, like you saw here, she has a 50% chance to recover skill to usage. You can go full-time S2 if you want as well, but you will not have enough VP for other stuff. Like if you bring charade, you decrease charade cost, and you can use the skill, and then charade gives her VP to keep cycling. See? She's nice and all because she gives defense boost, but she cannot be the only VP battery. She's made to be someone as a secondary VP battery, in my opinion. Because if you are in this fast stance, because you got that 50% chance to get the fast stance, you want to use skill 3. But what if you don't have enough VP? You lose this opportunity. Hence why you need a secondary VP battery. This is starting to look like a manager game of a soccer... yeah, a soccer team. And to remember and match teammates' skills. But that's the best part of this game. Comboing characters together. Besides all of that, she still has Sword Intrinsic, so... 40% damage reduction when resisting, 37% chance to evade resistant attacks, and 20% damage potential. She really does not do damage. It's terrible. I don't know even why she buffs dexterity when attacking, because even buffing many times she won't do damage. I feel like she's nice because she's using Asus words, so she has a place in the Remembrance meta, but in other challenges, unless you have a secondary VP manager, like Hardy or Shirei in her party, she will not be on full potential. It will be one turn where you have lots of effects, the other turn you don't have. Agreed, Monica is not that good due to the lack of VP. They just needed to fix this new flux. It would have been much better, because you could just rely on the RNG to have some turns with extra effects, but... no. She needs someone. So, okay, I still believe that this banner is a very good one, because you have Katarina as a meta unit that, like I said, is as much impactful as Alkaiser was when he was released. Not as impactful as Joe, because Joe was in every single squad, but was Alkaiser as well? Kaiser was in every single squad for a while. Even now, you can use him. And Katarina will get similar effect as Alkaiser. She will be in most squads. And because she has different elemental damage, you will not want to use her together with Alkaiser, but you can, depending on the enemy. Sometimes an enemy is weak to, for example, cold and blunt. Don't mind. But even then, sometimes we use the character without hitting the weakness. But she will not be on full potential. She wants to be in parties that land weak attacks. Get all the effects. She will replace Alkaiser in many setups. And even replace Joe. We don't use Joe all the time, but she can replace Joe as well. It's good because Joe has code, and she has code set up. So Joe and Katarina work well together. You gotta run. No worries, New Flux. Thanks so much for passing. See you later. You want to not have RNG on Monica. The meta on GP was to put her in the front of the Godspeed stance. But even then, she needs help from BP, Kills Piper. Because look, okay, Monica is on a fast stance. You still need 8 BP. How does she get BP herself? She has just 5. Look, turn ends, she gets BP. She doesn't get BP by attacking. You still have to bring someone to give her BP. But in this case, yeah. Let's say that she's on a party with Katarina that's giving you 2 BP. That's good because he uses 8. You get 7. You're close to using it every turn. Hey, Notsur, welcome. How are you doing? Chill SF1 vibes. Why do you say? You're buying a croissant of fromage and you were thinking of me? There's a new emoji, I mean, GIF on my Discord server where I am baking bread. Oh, that strategy with Monica only works a small period and that's it. Yeah, I feel like Monica is a niche unit again because she needs very specific squads to work. Remember also Vagnus and Virgil, characters that need squad to be based around them. Monica needs a squad based around her, and when she is on full potential, she's gonna shine. People show her working on challenges and say, "Whoa, she's amazing." Yeah, but then you need to collect some units to make use of her. But in my opinion, it's just either Darius or Candy or Aspergal, depending on the situation, or Shirei, and people have at least one of those units, right? So if you get her, okay. Don't need to pursue the character though. But the good thing is that she uses Ness's word style and will help future. But for S's word, do we have any BP battery to make her better for remembrance? I don't think so. There's a BP battery on S's words. You got all the other styles you mentioned, and I don't have Candy. The only one I don't have. Flexing, yeah! S's word styles. That is also a BP battery. You pitched Candy last night. Is the banner still up? I think it goes away today, right? I don't remember any S's word style that is a BP battery. So her utility on remembrance will be a little limited. Nah, she works, just doesn't have a perfect cycle. On JP. Sword assholes with Azure Instant Blade. Ah, yeah. 1 BP. Helps already. There's probably some other on JP now. Bowed? I'm not bowed. I said that I can be bowed if you send me a PS5. If anyone here send me a PS5, I'll do a Galahad cosplay. Hey! Why you bowed? I'm not bowed. Welcome, Socrates. Thanks for being a member again and for being here. And I'm happy for your recovery. Oh my god. Okay, that's okay to go here. Almost thought we were opening a wrong tab. Thanks so much, my friend. Thanks so much for being a member. You are back for Katarina. Some people always return for Katarina. Be a member for 12 months, a year. Yes, that's anniversary. Anniversary, my friend. Thank you. We're more of back for Julian. You want to build a fool, Julian. We're going to talk about him right now. So, back. I am thinking about giving this Katarina banner a gold award. Why? Because, like I said, we have some meta units here that are game-changing. Katarina is. She has the same impact as Alkaiser had in the game. Khed may be a little bit of a niche character here and there, but even then, he can still make up for damage. Miko is a Merlot Sire for free in the banner. Of course, we already have Merlot Sire, but considering the banner value, if you don't have, you have a higher value. Monica, by being an SS word user, is better, but skippable too. Maybe a gold minus award, but I believe it's better to say that than say silver plus, because I believe in the power of Katarina. Someone somewhere returning for Khed. Always. Where is Duzzy? Where is Mario Hardy? Mario Hardy just shows up and disappears. Because it's a 4-people banner and all the units are useful. We just have a little bit of a problem with Monica not keeping up with all of her stacks. Katarina carried this banner, yeah. You think gold is good? Makes sense, right? It's because most people will be able to fix Monica. But she does have a problem. But on full potential, she's nice. Now, Julian. They did some nice changes to Julian that I wanted to summon for him, but I just can't. I don't have gens. I don't have more than 10,000 gens now. Julian was changed to have same value for endurance, STR and wheel. You can see 115% for all. Now for passives, they changed some things here. Like, he now can trigger as many revenge times as you want. He had a 50 times limit. How could you reach 50 times in a fight? I don't know, maybe a very long fight. Now, when he receives a direct attack, he will grant himself a defense boost and will be applying all enemies the slash and pierce defense down. That I believe will decrease their defenses by 10% only because it's AoE. For just one turn. It's bad because it's one turn. Should have been 2 turns so that the next turn where he revenges will be nice. But now, the important thing, when he receives an indirect attack, he will charge a revenge time and also get this 15% attack boost. Revenge self-attack boost is 20, right? People say it's 20. I have to check this again because when it was about the action switch triggers, it was always 15%, 10% sometimes. Where are you, Julian? You assume everyone dies in the end? These 2 banners are good, but the problem is the speed of content. How long will they still be useful? Katarina will be useful. The others, not so much. Even Julian will fall. Katarina will be useful till we see someone like Gustav somehow. That's also a great sword user. Khed is for everyone but me. I like tanks and Kai knows this. You like all types of tanks. She's even having every run now on GP. We're talking about Julian, right? Let's go back to Julian. You know that too well. So, Julian. And you get hit. You get his attack boost. Passive. Large, 20%. 20% 2 turns, he's gonna get many triggers of this. That actually increases his damage output. Lasts for 2 turns at least. And that's from an indirect attack. And then you get 1 charge of that revenge. That's exactly how Mask works. The Mask doesn't have to be an indirect attack. Mask revenge counter, it's different. When another surviving ally is being attacked. And I do believe that overall this mechanic is better, but look, Whip Stance is much weaker. It's just Thunder Whip that has C power. So it's easier to trigger Mask because anyone in the party would trigger. So you can even place it in the back. He has stealth. so that he doesn't like to be hit. He wants other people to be hit. In the case of Julian, he needs to be in a fight with enemies that have indirect attacks, and he himself has to be attacked. When an enemy has spells, for example, or many indirect attacks, he still gets hit. So it does help that he has a cover, where he has a 37% chance to cover when someone is hit. It only matters when it's single target and when someone else is attacked, not himself. But he still wants to be placed on a Rising Phoenix EX or Rising King formation. And when he's attacked, he will buff Endurance, Will, and Charisma of all surviving allies by 5%. 5% is not much. Can eventually stack, but yeah. And he also reduces damage taken by 50% at all times. Okay, so let's say that in a fight he gets 3 indirect hits. You get some attack boosts and all, and then he will revenge. Revenge with that skill that has double S power, Slash and Pierce. Slash and Pierce. Slash, we always know that we can destroy enemies with Kihachi if you have her. Pierce, we do have also Swift. If you want. Swift's not as strong as Kihachi, not even close. I feel like the fights where Julian work is a little more restricted. He cannot work in all times, but we haven't discussed him entirely because they did some other changes as well. Not changes, sorry. He has something else in this leaf, and that's the second skill. This skill here can be inherited into his passive style that, in my opinion, is still better. That can only be used once per battle, but will give him a passive. Every turn now he taunts more. Remember that he has 2 taunts and he applies stealth on the enemy, on the other characters. Now he will taunt even more, and I don't know. I feel like 95% of the single target attacks will be on Julian if he's using the Rising formations. And he will also buff Endurance and Will on the start of a turn by 20%. Will increase his ailment resistance and recover very small healing. So just by summoning this Julian and sending this inheritance to the other Julian already improves him. It's not like that Julian needs help, guys. It's still an overpowered unit that when works, it's extremely valuable. But if you want to make it even better, then you can. I don't feel like this is worth 45,000 gems, but Julian is still, like I said in my the tier list is that video, one of the must-have units in the game, because when he works, there's not many other units that do what he does. I know people will say that Mayo can do more in some situations, but in most others, Julian shines. So getting this in sending, it's already nice. He himself has damage block, as you can see. That's not that important. It's 9 BP and then recovers 3 and then gets damage block. He can also decrease Slash and Pierce defense of the enemy. Like he can already do it via the new passive here. Slash defense down, Pierce defense down. The passive here, sorry. But this one only for 1 turn. Yeah, only for 1 turn. Should have been 2 turns. You met the stacks taunt status on Julian. Yeah, here he already has the best taunt in the game because of something that happens here. He only needs 2 turns to be on full potential. That's already very good. Look. For mouse stance. His taunt is small. And the stealth that he applies on everyone is small. But let's say that everyone has 15% chance of being hit. And when he applied stealth, they decreased that to, I don't know, 8%. And then when you taunt, you will also steal like 1% of their chances of being attacked. Like, say that they have now 6% chance of being attacked, while all the remaining chances are on Julian. If you bring more taunts, they will reach like 2% chance of being attacked or something. Or single target attacks, of course. So Julian gets more hits, he gets more buffs, he deals more damage, he counters more often, so he gets better. But is it worth 45,000 gems? No. You can still run just that Julian the way he is and he will still work. It's literally on inverse of the previous Julian design-wise. Reduce the damage the enemy's defense instead of hard status buffing. Deals more damage as a trade-off for sustain. Yeah, but the thing is, you have an easier time to use the other Julian. This Julian will have to pick his fights with a little more intelligence. Like, you can already use this with this Julian, you taunt, because you can see that he doesn't have taunt with passive. He relies on using this skill on turn 1. And then after that, he'll be cycling skill 3 and 1, and you can inherit Starry Rush if you want as well, or anything else. And Starry Rush is nice because it can sometimes increase damage, or Golden Dragon Plus. But since the enemy will lose Slash and Pierce resistance, I believe that you are better off using that skill. Starry Rush, because it's Slash and Pierce. And then the guy will get like 3, 4, 5, 6 chases of double S power. If you get more than 3 chases, nice. This Julian works. If you don't get at least 3 chases, you are better off using damage dealers. That's what I believe. That's why he needs to pick on his fights. He does not buff STR anymore when he's hit, right? He buffs Endurance, Will, and Charm. But he does not buff STR. The other Julian stacks so much damage because he buffs STR. This one doesn't. When he works insanely well, but it's not everywhere. Yeah, let's say that Julian works 35% of the time. This Julian will work 15 to 20% of the time. Half the time that you use it, original Julian, you'll be using this Julian the way that he actually wants to use it. It is better when the enemy attacks multiple times. It is better when the enemy, when there's more than one enemy as well, because he can cover and he can do more damage. Is this Julian worth 45,000 if you don't have the previous one? I don't think so. You are better off summoning for Khed if you have his other style that I discussed it here, that I'll be discussing in the full review. Because in that way, I think he works better as a solo counter. This Khed has Tempest Moon, and you can amplify and use with the new Khed, and he will do insane damage just like Julian does. You want a full damage dealer counter unit, but I don't think that this Julian replaces the other. You should look at it in a different way. I think you need to see 240 with Julian, sure. 240 is which stage again? Kazinsi. I have bad memory, you have to remember. I'll put Julian in Rising Phoenix, Rising King. Yeah, the Rising's formations. Reduce damage. I'll say no, see Socrates. The Julian line of units is more designed for what you get in more tools. Got it. I'll say Ellen is more worth than Julian. I don't know. I think that this Ellen has a lot of problems even. But I think we discussed Julian already. This Julian has good utility, good inheritance, but it's a little more restricted than the other Julian. Have to pick his fights more than the other. As for Thomas, I really dislike this Thomas as a whole. He is even more specific. I feel like the JP meta have been shifting to using units with very specific designs because this kind of sells a unit easier. They cannot replace every new specialist all the time. They cannot release Katarina and then release someone better than Katarina next week. So they create characters that have niche utility. And that's Thomas for you. Thomas has this skill here. The first thing I need to discuss about him. Actually, the first thing is that he is a mage, even if he uses spears. And he needs a Earth Spear. I hope that they release a triple S weapon for the guy. He has 120% intelligence, but low agility, just 94. Endurance and Will are nice, but he wants to use skill number 2 right on start. This is fast and can only be used once. And it will grant himself this Stone Guardian. So that every turn, he will grant this 2 BP when being attacked by Blunt in that turn. And also, he will grant that again. So you actually get 4 BP when you are hit by blunt attacks. That's very, very specific. But this damage block is just to himself or to everyone. That's something that I don't fully understand. I need to check. For everyone is nice. To self only. The way it's worded here doesn't really clear my doubts. So, 2BP when being attacked by blunt attacks, and it's just for that turn, but it will trigger for every type of attack. If you bring this guy for Arsenal fight, he's going to give you even more BP than Candy did. Candy can give you 3, and then sometimes another 3 on overdrive for a stack of 6. This guy gives you 4 BP when you are hit by blunt. Imagine, how many times can you be hit by blunt on Arsenal fight? I know, very nice, but how many fights will have blunt damage all the time? You know, he's a very good specialist. But I also said that overall, Hardy gives you more than 12 points of BP over 3 turns. So, unless you are hit by at least one AoE blunt attack every turn, you replace a BP generator. But this is nice because in JP it's just 2. 4 is big. Versus Arsenal attacks so many times that you will never have a single problem with BP. It also feels like when they released those units that had a shield versus an element. Remember, they were very specific. They would make some of these fights super easier. They were not mandatory, not game changing, and that's what I think about Thomas. Okay. But now what about the other stuff? He has 30% damage increase, then spell attack increases by another 30. He already has 1 damage block. He can get a second. And if all allies are alive, he then increases damage by another 15%, and then reduces damage taken for everyone by 20. This is Scrum Guard. Then when attack lands, he gets 1 VP, and grants defense down to the target. This decreases defense by 10% only, if I remember correctly, but it stacks. If he uses any skill or spell, he changes with Dual Lens. Dual Lens. It's an S power attack. Pretty much like Khed chains, but Khed has a much better setup. And he then has 37% chance to chains with hypergravity. This is not hypergravity. I forgot the global name of this. But it's a 3 to 5 hit attack. But it's just... No, it's a very high chance now. On JP, it says just 37% chance. So it was increased. Here I got Livestream luck. Oh, really? Hardy on first multi? Insane, man. Congratulations. Cher really loves Arsenal. I don't. You hate Firebringer? Are you trying to beat Firebringer? I almost beat it yesterday, but had bad RNG. Okay, where I was? Okay. Defense down. 37% chance became 50% chance to chase with Gravity Rush. You hate the Firebringer style. It's not that bad. So, one chase, the guarantee is S power, and you have a chance to chase with 3 to 5 hits. That's stronger than a triple S attack if you have more hits. And Spear Finesse, 30% damage increase, 30% damage reduction, alongside the Scrum Guard. Okay, nice. Skill 1 is debuff attack that can debuff intelligence and try to stun. Old skill. The second we already discussed it, where he gets an extra damage block and the BP recovered when hit by blunt. And then the third is a fast guard up medium, 25% damage reduction, but also a blunt defense up and a pierce defense up, but all for just 1 turn. So very specific, and I don't like. You have to time out everything here to make it work. MVP works if you are in a fight where the enemy keeps using blunt attacks, because then you will be recovering and keep using this skill every time. But in situations where the enemy uses multiple types of attack, not everything is blunt based, he will not have enough. So really skippable in my opinion. A character that is just a card that can be used for specific fights. Easy to skip because you won't be using it on all challenges. Is S3 so old design, El Mal? It's like, UDX Aspergal. Remember her? It's exactly like that. It's the same type of skill even. Was first designed with her. There's another character that have the same thing, but I don't remember. Look, guard up medium, full defense boost, shadow defense boost. Guard up medium, blunt defense. I think Hands translated it wrong. It's not defense up, it's defense boost, because defense up is permanent. Audius had it first. No, Audius was released after Esper. I'm more Chinchar. Thank you. Chin Allen, Chinchar. Sin's here. Welcome, Sin. Are they releasing Triple S random weapons? I think only on anniversary. Ismail says, do Remembrance Triple S weapons require using the old ones? Or do the Megalith fights require clearing old Remembrance fights? I don't know much about that. I don't play JP. If anyone can help, you still need the original weapon, right? It makes sense. Sarah? Now let's discuss Sarah. Sarah is dexterity attacker, bow. She has goodwill. They buffed it to 110%, very safe. I actually like Sarah somehow. You have to see that they gave her a guard up very large. That decreases damage taken by 50%. For bow units, Remembrance is very helpful. But it relies on, let's start with the most important thing. She starts with a 13 BP skill. At least she starts the fight with 13. Before she attacks, she grants herself this attack boost that increases damage potential by 30, if I remember correctly. 2 turns. And then a defense boost, decreasing damage taken by 25. That's because she cannot do anything on the second turn. She enters a charge, it stands. After she attacks with this 4S power attack that was already boosted by this attack boost. And then on the second turn, you cannot use any skill. She will just unleash this attack that has between 2 to 4 hits with B power. And each hit will have an attack boost small. So each hit gets a little more damage, it's just that. Since the second attack is free, you don't have to generate BP, she relies on a lot of RNG to keep her cycles perfect. She has a 50% chance to get 6 BP. Her BP generation is 5 per turn. She needs 13, meaning that she needs 3 extra. But she has a 50% chance to get 6. See how they are wanting to give you RNG? 50% to get 6 means that in 2 turns, in average, you trigger it at least once. But if you don't trigger at the first turn and you don't have EP batteries, or turn 1 or turn 2, you will not have enough to use her skill again on turn 3. And you want that because when you are on the charged stance, she will have the guard up very large, decreasing damage taken by 50%. You want to keep her perfect cycle. You don't want to use any other skill. She's all about skill tree and nothing else. Her damage is not even that great. But since she's giving you the guard up very large from turn 2 onwards, if you have the perfect cycle, she's decreasing damage taken permanently by 50%. And she also has a 50% chance to recover the HP of all allies by small effect. Aisha got a permanent 1 every 3 turns. She got a 50% chance. Will happen once every 2 turns on average. And it will heal for around 1.3 to 1.4 thousand. For bow units, very nice on Remembrance. I don't feel like I need that because I have Liz. But that's everything she does. She gets heat ups, she has both knees, and she relies on just using skill tree. There's no one else, nothing else. If she keeps using that, she has good effects. But totally skippable overall. Very useful for Remembrance if you can keep her running. In Remembrance, you only need to clear the stage once. But I don't think people will be using her on real challenges because her damage is not that great. It's more about having some party sustain with the guard up and the heal. Can use it if you don't have all the premium styles. Yes. But with the advent of people like Alkaiser and Katarina, they are easier to use. Look at previous Sarah S1. Previous Sarah S1. But she's on a charged stance. You don't want to use that. Ah, yeah. Yeah. I feel like I even talked about this on the review. But you don't want to use that as well. Because if you use this, you only get to guard up on turn 3. This only lasts for 4 turns, meaning that I have to recast, meaning that my guard ups are even more spaced out. No. You do if you don't get BP because it's free. Yeah, you can inherit because it's free, but you're much better starting well with the BP generation. Unless you're using her on real hard challenges. I'm not planning on using her on real challenges. Since it's after my exam, I'm gonna make some in honor of ScherBR anniversary. What are you talking about? Who's? Yeah, today, today, this month is the anniversary of the channel. We are reaching 5 years of content, almost 2,000 videos, more than 300 live streams, more than 500, I guess. So, a lot of time devoted to romancing SaGa universe. Sadly, I'm a little worried because there are a decline on the audience. I feel like the free quest system did affect a little bit of the audience. People just don't worry too much about content anymore. They may play it when they have the units. I also believe that the hard difficulty of some of the fights made some people be scared of trying it on day one. Remember? Remembrance fights where we could not even land hits? Well, I remember that. And I don't feel like people like that type of stuff. Summoning for the recent units and they missing their attacks. This happened in the past, also drew people away, and they fixed it that by adding another mechanic to increase accuracy, but not much. So, back to the point. The channel is 5 years long, but I'm covering Reuniverse for almost, technically already 4 years, because I covered the beta test that I was playing, the closed beta. So we are reaching a point where this is part of my life, right? It's my job. And the channel survives mostly via donations because we earn very, very little via ads since the viewership has been on decline, has always been low. We are a very small but very good community as well. We have so many good members and help from everyone. But sadly, I need to ask for the monthly goals because I can't pay the bills via just the membership system or just the viewership. If the channel was bigger, if we had a bigger audience, I would not need to ask if I'm only asking because it's needed. So if anyone wants to support the channel via donation, you can use the links on the description. If you make a donation, it will appear on the top with a message and a GIF if you want to send. And it will also later be added to the end of the videos as a special thanks. But if you can't, just click the like button. It certainly helps keep the channel running because sometimes when people skip videos, the algorithm system gets crazy. So the more likes we get, the more videos will be sent. So thank you all for this. Time flies, year 1 subscriber, share rise up. Ismails, you are year 1. How many people are year 1 here? I mean, if you keep the cycle running, finds there's no reason not to inherit. Yeah, safety net. That makes sense, Socrates. Am I the only one who always starts every strategy with Shrey as the first time in the party? I don't, Eikai. If I can skip Shrey, I don't use him. Inherit Dance fixes the BP issues on previous Sarah. You're talking about Perry.dance. Yeah, like we are discussing, seeing it's not that interesting unless you really need because she will break the space between the guard ups and that's not very good. Imagine having a 50% damage reduction. Of course, there are still many other defensive layers in your characters, but then on the next turn you don't have. The damage difference can be pretty different and lead you to a death. So back to the Reddit. Okay. This is still Sarah, right? We don't need to discuss the healing effect because it's really unnecessary, and the skill 1, it's really unnecessary. It's something that you will not be using. So Sarah works. It's not necessary if you already have Liz. She's your healer, and she's not really that much of a strong damage dealer. She's just adding even more sustain. I don't need sustain, so that's why I don't care about the Sarah. I will pull for other bow units in the future. I had to take a call. Oh, no worries. Thanks for letting me know. You'll help share when I can. You always help it when you could, my friend. Don't worry. I send a message to everyone that can listen. And I can help. If you can't, no worries. Sarah means Ren, gotcha. Yeah. She could theoretically be used on hard challenge. Much like Monica can theoretically be used on hard challenge. It's just that they are not game changers. They can be used, but they are not the character that you say, I only beat this stage because I brought this unit. There are units that work like that, but not those ones. And now you got to Alan. Alan's the last one, so saving the best for last. I don't know much. I know Sin loves Alan, but I also love many other characters. I love Emilia, and I criticize Emilia. People still use her because she's a Remembrance unit. I criticize her for general content usage. And I have to do the same for Alan. I feel like she came super close of being a meta unit. She is better for those that skip it pulse. But let's start from the start. She has 120% STR, right? 102% agility. She needs high agility. She has 90% intelligence, but she doesn't really need the intelligence. She does have skills that can debuff, but I don't feel like she needs to rely on this. But okay, she has. Will is 90%. She has love and charisma. She has that 90% intelligence because of that second skill that has chance to debuff intelligence. Chance. 90% is not enough in most case scenarios. Look, I was making a video today where my Firebringer, I think that Socrates says that he hates Firebringer because he doesn't always land his debuffs, right? Look at Firebringer. He has 100% intelligence and he misses a lot. And, well, 100% missing. And I used him in the center of the Rising Phoenix EX. He already gets 50% extra intelligence. It doesn't work all the time. Siegfried was not being debuffed all the time. So back to Alan. That's why I believe that she's not good using skill 2. Unless you are buffing a lot with your other units, and she will be able to reach very high intelligence eventually, and that works. But if you are losing your buffs every single turn, it's better not to care too much about this. But she works without this, that's a good point. Okay, she has 20% damage increase, then another 20 via Axe Intrinsic, 40% damage reduction, 37% chance to evade. Starts the fight with 13 because her best skill uses 13. And then she has this Secret of Slashing. This is her main gameplay mechanic in this new style. This is permanent in battle. Every time that she attacks, she can debuff STR, Endurance, and Intelligence by 5%. Debuffing STR and Intelligence is usually the best combo of the game, because it covers most physical skills, most, not all. Covers all ailment and debuff chances, and even spell damage most of the time. And the buffing endurance allows her to increase the damage of her and all other characters that are attacking with physical skills. So she can debuff 5% at start when using skills, hence why she needs a high agility. Global X Mango just helping us reach the midterm goal? Guys, let me stop a few here. Let me be sure that it's Mango, because many times stuff happened and there was a joke inside a donation and I didn't know. And I think the wrong person. Let me see here on the cell phone, because I cannot open the tab with my stuff. I still can't see. The donation doesn't appear for me yet, but I don't know who you are. You can say if you are, but thank you so much, Global X Mango, for helping the channel and keeping us safe, because this is used for health. Thank you so much. Let me send you some virtual hugs, Global X Mango. I'm gonna say that. Thanks so much, Global X Mango. The community sometimes use a mix of their names with names of other users to make fun. So we never understand. Let me fix this. Help. Oh, wait. It's kind of broken here on the top. Mango wants a hug from you, share. I'll send many hugs. I didn't send a hug. Let's send thanks, virtual hugs, emojis, guys. Let's use all the options we have available. Am I missing something? What is wrong with your health? No, it's not that I have bad health. I have diabetes and some other issues with my blood system and vein system. So I have a health plan and I pay for the health plan to have access to good doctors and stuff. I'm not in danger. I don't know. I'm making some exams for other stuff because I'm reaching 40 years old. This month I will be making 38 years. So I am taking care of myself. Here in the Brazil, we do have a free health plan, but sometimes stuff is only appointed 6 months later and it may be too late. But I'm not in danger or anything. I had very bad health some time ago because I was having a lot of pain in my nerve system. But it has been becoming better and better because I'm taking my medicines for diabetes. I am trying to change my diet. I'm eating better, a little better. Even then, I'm not on my 100% plan. Sometimes I eat wrong stuff because I don't have enough time to cook. And I'm not really a cooker, so it's also a fact. But there was a time where I was feeling so much pain that I could not sleep. I went to bed like 11 p.m., midnight, and I will only be able to sleep like 3 to 4 a.m. because of the pain I was suffering. I was into some heavy medicines. I tried to use some that was making me feel too bad. Sometimes. Oh, ZT Games, thanks so much, my friend. We're now a member. Thanks so much, ZT Games. His name is Doug. Let's send some thanks. But that medicine that I was taking, it's the same type of medicine that is sent to people that have depression issues. So I was feeling some pain in the back of my head. I was feeling weak during the day, but I was not feeling pain. But I had to remove that. We tried some other medicines with my doc, and things are improving. But I still have to take care of my health because when you reach 40 or close to 40, things are like that. Let me see if the email says. No, I got the email. It was not Mango. It was Mr. or Miss Anonymous. Yes. Like I said, sometimes people make inside jokes from the community. And thank you so much, Mr. or Miss Anonymous. As always, I don't know who you are, but I like uh, you so much. And I respect that you don't want to show yourself or say who you are, but you have been a very important person helping keep the channel alive. So thanks from the bottom of the heart. Let's send some virtual hugs and thanks now that I know that I was Mr. or Miss Anonymous. Thank you. Let me check the comment section before I keep talking about Ellen because there was a lot of things said on the chat. Okay. Cher is pulling a Sherazad. Sherazad. Chaos Papa was saying that my bows are really lacking damage, so I'll be happy if I get her along the way to Ellen. Ismail was saying, Cher, please, can you put them in order of usefulness? Yes, before I finish the stream, I would give them grades, asking if you all agree, and place them in order of utility. Then I will make the review, but the review comes later. Socrates says, I'll take my ball to Julian. He thinks that Kat is the best one, then Monica, then Julian, then Ellen, then Khalid, then Sarah, and then Bumas. Who is Bumas? Order of usefulness, retire Farbringer, Ikai said, retire Kai, says Socrates. Ismail says, thanks Socrates, and I agree that much. Farbringer misses his debuffs too much. Maybe there's something with his skill also because he debuffs sometimes and doesn't. Even his hits sometimes misses, but that's because of the recent content. Lobo X Mango. Mango wants a hug. It was not Mango then. Sin says 100% do the job. I like that. Just saying it's weird how much downplay there is for her in an Axis. Yes. But there's something very interesting about Ellen that I want to get to the point where she can be broken, like Paul's type of broken. But she relies on very specific combos to make that work. Hopefully the new medicine for diabetes gets universal approval and doesn't have any drawbacks. Oh, yeah, I heard that there's a new type of medicine, right? The one that I have right now, it's okay. WPC has been there. It's awful. Some of our friends are sometimes dealing with issues as well. Like Socrates was dealing with issues. Sorry if you didn't want to say anything. Uh, Health issues happen with the best of us. Thank you so much. My mom had to deal with it. Diabetes sucks, even if it's not dangerous. It's not dangerous. I have to make just a short pause, Kills Piper, because that's what people say before they see the worst. Like I was in the mall these days, because there is a place where I make my exams that it's very close to a mall, and you have to go inside the mall to leave and get to the bus stop. And there was a guy. He was have like 55 years old or something. He was on a wheelchair and he lost one of his legs because of diabetes. Because that's what led me into doing a lot of exams. I said I had nerve pain, right? Because if you take too much sugar and your sugar blood is too high, you start hurting your nerve system to a point where your blood system will also not work so well. And it can lead to necrosis or some worse stuff. So this guy lost his leg because of diabetes. And you don't know what he was doing on the mall. He was on the McDonald's. He was ordering a McDonald's sandwich and he was on the phone and it felt like it was pretty recent that he lost his leg and he was saying something to someone like, oh man, you don't know how it's been my diabetes, it's been the worst thing and something, but he was ordering a McDonald's, man. And you know that sugar is not just on traditional sugar, it's on everywhere, and a McDonald's is not something that you should be eating. I don't know much about the guy. Maybe he really loves that and sometimes he needs, but you should never say that diabetes it's not that bad because or that dangerous because it can be. It can be. And my father he died of something that affected his blood system, and that's why I was ultra careful about everything that I was handling with. Fibroing is just bad. Okay. I mean, it's even if it's not a severe case that the diabetes is not dangerous. Oh, okay. If it's well treated, it's not dangerous. Yeah. But don't be like that guy, my friend. I mean, I don't know if he could theoretically skip that from happening, but maybe he could, and he took a different approach. Diabetes is so common nowadays. My parents have it, and many people got diagnosis with it before the age of 30. It happened to me with 36, 35 to 36. Yes. But you know, it's just food, man. Current food, it's terrible. It gets worse and worse. People use it to eat more natural stuff. Now we eat industrial food, and that's why we have this. It's non-natural, like cancer. Cancer is getting worse and worse because we are eating non-natural stuff. My doctor told me once that most people who get amputations usually get them from infection from having a cut without treating it. Also, but it only happens if your problem is already bad. I mean, if you are in the pre-diabetes, you have to treat your health and try to reduce the level of your sugar blood to eventually skip that from happening. Sorry if worded poorly. Oh no, I took that opportunity to sometimes warn people. It's not nothing against you. It was like a friend sometimes. Recent days, I have a friend that goes to the church, and his name is George, and he's amazing. We were in a car together with another friend, and he said, "I have ADHD." And I said, I also have, you know, right, George? And he said, yeah, man. And he showed me his fingers, and he bites his fingers all the time. He has a lot of things like me. I uh, have some stuff like especially, you know, breaking the fingers. I don't know the name for that. And this other person in the car said, ah, everyone this day have that ADHD. Everyone has it. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. And that's the worst thing to say because people don't know what that is. They see, even on Brazil, here on Instagram, we have some channels where people say, um, ADHD depressive days, Or they make jokes, they make fun of it because someone always forget where the key car is. The car's key are. Oh, because someone loses attention because of a cell phone. No, man. Losing attention of because of a cell phone, it's not a sign of ADHD. This happens to everyone, every single person. So I said to him, no, man, stop. That's not how it is. Because I and this friend, Georgian, he has this, and we all know why we have it and the complications of it. But it's not criticism, it's just to actually warn people because that can be important. Sometimes information is misled, and it happens because of those short videos of people making fun of their disease. Sometimes people laugh of their disease because that's how they handle the situation. Sometimes it's better to laugh than to cry. Leaving my autism untreated. You said the emoji that's why I laugh, but many people have different layers of that, and it's totally understandable, man. And I think that left too long untreated will go bad. So remember to take care of yourself. Everyone, all single one of you. Just make sure to take your metformin after the meals and insulin if needed. I don't take metformin, it didn't work for me. I take another one. We had some discussions here where I talked about metformin and it was not working for me. I take gliclazida. What's the English name of this? Diamicron. Diamicron. I take this one. Sold under the brand name of Diamicron. It's called gliclazide. That's the one that works for me. Metformin was not helping. This was the one that allowed me to decrease the blood sugar levels. Yes. Psychedelic says cracking. It comes to our time a bit too naturally, cause plenty of things that existed recently. Yes, that's the one that I take. I don't take insulin. Oh, that one it works similarly to metformin. What's the dosage? I take 2 of 30 because you usually have better discounts when you purchase it on 30 milligrams. So I take 2 per day, so 60 milligrams. And this one I take by the morning. Metformin I was taking before I sleep. I don't know if that changes somehow, but this is the one that works. Do you take some? Okay, now back to Alan, right? Let's talk about good stuff, like a friend says. Now to Ellen. Back. I said that she has this secret of slashing where she debuffs 5% of STR endurance and intelligence, starts the fight with 13 BP. She doesn't have that many damage passives at start, but she does have this 20% here. She has another 20 from Max Intrinsic, so 40%, right? When she lands an attack, she gets another attack boost that increases damage by 10%, lasts for 2 turns and stacks. But she also buffs her own STR by 5% only. This is passive, right? STR temper. Let me check this. Have to check because sometimes it's just strange. Ellen. It should be 5 because Juji is 5. 5%. Just like Juji. And she will slowly builds up. This is pretty much exactly like Judy, I think. She gets 1 EP also by attacking. That's super important to discuss. But then, okay. In battle, on the start of a turn, she has a 37% chance to grant herself a new passive. Let's say that she has 3 different passives that have 37% chance to happen on start of a turn. Each of them have a special attack. These attacks are better off checking here are Morning Glory, a forest power attack, 86%, 86 mod. It's one of the strongest forest attacks in the game. and gives 15 points of overdrive. She can debuff the intelligence of the enemy. It will only be 10%. Hence why she does have intelligence. Because she needs, since the attacks have chance to debuff, not a guarantee. Okay, that's one of the attacks can debuff intelligence by 10%. It is nice, but 37% chance to trigger the passive that has the attack. And she will use the attack on that particular turn in the next turn. So, the good thing is that you can stack this. You can reach a point where she can use Morning Glory twice. But imagine, 37% chance to happen twice. I mean, 37% chance to happen, and then you need again on the second turn. It's unlikely to happen. It's not reliable. But the attack is strong. Then she can also chains with Deadly Spin. Deadly Spin is slash and blunt. Morning Glory is just slash. Deadly Spin is also a 4S power attack. And then she has the other, called High Speed Nabla. In global, it should have another name. Let's see here. Reverse Delta Plus. That's the same skill that you can find on Darius, for example. The Refactor Darius. This is Slash and Blunt in global. They changed it. And there's this attack boost, 30% for 2 turns. It's good because it will increase the damage of all the other skills as well. It feels weaker, just double S power, but helps increase the power of the others. So, overall, she will change, if you consider a simple math, 2 times per turn. Overall. Starting from turn 2. Now, the good thing, if you consider that she changes at least 2 times, she will attack once and then changes 2 times on the average value of RNG. She will debuff STR, Endurance, and Intelligence by at least the average value of 15%. If RNG is bad, it can be less. If RNG is good, it can be better than that. So, what you can actually do, you can make it much better then. If you have other people with BP generation, you can trigger skill tree. It's 13 BP, that's a lot. That will give her another stance of that secret of slashing. Okay. If you use this skill already, you will be able to debuff, for example, on turn 1, you still have only the first chance to trigger. You have an average of 1 chase, let's say. She will debuff STR, Endurance, and Intelligence of the enemy by the average of 10%. On the second turn, she's already debuffing all of these by the average of a skill and then 2 chases, right? That will be 15%, then it will become 30% debuff. Average again. So let's say that you manage to use her skill tree again. Just remember, she gets VP by attacking. So she gets at least 4 per turn, and each chase gives her more. You will actually be using a skill tree and then either a normal attack 2 times and then skill tree again, or a cycle off, for example, skill 3 and then skill 1. If you have AP generators like Hardy, you will sometimes have enough to use skill 3 after skill 3. If you do that, imagine, you will be reaching a point where she can debuff 45% STR, Endurance, and Will. Or even 60% if you were capable of using this 3 times in a row. That's almost impossible. Not impossible, but it's pretty rare. So in those situations, she comes to extreme value, 60% debuff to this status. So, thanks for the emojis, guys. And welcome, Adrian. How are you? I'm doing fine. How about you? Akai says he will pull Shirley. J Prax likes Ellen, so surprising he's not here. He's not. Maybe he's working or doing stuff. Oh, Jens for Thomas is here. Who is this? Thanks so much for helping. I have to check the donation because I never know who is who. But thank my friend. I can't see it yet. But let's send some virtual hugs and thanks to our dear friend helping out the channel stay alive. Thanks so much. Jens for Thomas. I have to say that first, so I know who it is, but the email is not showing who is it yet. There's some delay with PayPal sometimes. Jens for Thomas is nice. Ah, it's Doug. Thanks, Doug. I thought it was you. Since it's Doug, let's say virtual hug, Virgo sign, and then vibration mode. The whole trinity of hugs. Cat the whole trinity. Thank you, my friend. So, I really appreciate the help, and there was a lot of emojis, and thanks. The character itself can reach very high potential, like I was discussing, but it relies on building the squad around her. You have to have at least a Darius type of character. No, at least Darius. No, Darius is not really necessary. You need to have at least a Hardy type of character, or Candy on the max situation. It's kind of like how I was talking about Monica. Monica has very interesting utility, but she relies on squad built around her. And I feel like it's not even Sheree that will help Ellen. It needs to be Hardy, because it needs to be a lot of VP. Either Hardy or Candy on full potential. Or this Thomas versus Blunt. Because if you can keep using skill 3 and she's fast enough, she doesn't have any fast skill, right? That's sad. But if you don't have VP, you can use skill 1. It's not that bad. It has this morale down effect. Debuffs STR, well, it's just 2 VP at least. But if you don't have anything else, you are better off just, using a normal attack. Let's see if she has a free skill here. Ah, she does. She does have a free skill with her, this style of her. No, not this. Where is it? This style has quick spin. Quick spin plus, it's free. So if you don't want to spend BP, I always want to cycle S3. It becomes a very useful style. There's also this Garnet Dance, right? Yeah, if you don't have VP to use skill 3, you can also inherit that from her last style. Because a chase attack will give you better debuffs later. It's still preferable to run skill 3 every time. But if you can't, wait, this is not the style that I was talking about. Just use Garnet Dance. Garnet Dance gives VP as well. Her M-Art version has cheap VP recovery skill too. Oh yeah, let me see. Thanks for the 100 and everything, guys. Gens for Boomas. Thomas is Boomas, Kai? Why do you call him like that? Global Nox says RNG put our lives in the hand of the SaGa god. Her M-Art style. How many people have her M-Art style though? Well, let me check that. It's that amplifiable skill, right? Yes, Punishing Rush Plus. Usually we'll give her an off VP. If not, it has to be. That's the best inheritance. The M-Art style. Because she's attacking. If you are not attacking, you are not debuffing. Imagine having to stop to use that yo-yo chase. So in my opinion, either Punishing Rush Plus or Quick Spin. It's still not free, we don't have the amplifiable version, but a 1 BP is also cheap. Or just use her skill 1. But there will be some turns where she won't have 13 BP, that's way too much, unless it's Hardy. But Ellen loves Hardy. Hardy loves Ellen, and if you have those two together, I'll probably see some challenges being cleared with those two together, and using her as a debuffer. I wish her agility was on 110% because, Firebringer is super fast, but as soon as we can buff break Firebringer, he's not that dangerous. Her M-Arts version has cheap BP recovery. Oh, that's what Chaos Piper said, and Doug said, we all have the M-Arts style. No one skips Ellen here, right, sure? I know that Scene has all Ellen styles. You was asking who is Boomas. No one. Is it lore accurate? No! Ellen's Romance in SaGa 3 and Hardy is original. But overall, my friends, this character is good, just skippable again. Yeah, because to make everything work, all of this to work, is to get a similar result as what you get with this character here. Paulus. Paulus is very good. This guy here has same type of setup, but he gives a passive to everyone in the party. And he's very easy to use. Where you could use Alan is where you are using Paulus. So we will drop Paulus in favor of Alan. Alan does more damage. But Paulus does not need Hardy in the party. Alan needs Hardy. But maybe you are using Hardy already. So that's my view on Alan. I feel like she can reach extremely high potential, but the problems with her doesn't have a fast Q. Should have a little higher agility and reliant on a BP battery that is of new levels. I don't even think Sheree is enough. Unless you already have Sheree with someone else, I feel like if you have Hardy, nice. But what do you guys think? Am I right on thinking about this like this, or am I wrong? We need Jisoo emoji here. Ah, geez. I have some space for, I think, 2 more emojis. So I have to check that out. I can add. Dafo. Dafo is pretty famous as well. What do you guys think about these units? Now I will be talking about how I will be grading them, and you say if you agree or not. So Katarina will be a 5 out of 5. Yeah, she's a must-have, meta-defining character. Then Khed. Khed, I don't know. He's a little way too specific for me to give him a 4.5. Originally, I would give him a 4 out of 5 because of, right now the grading system also thinks about the utility of a character in the future. Overlasting value, I don't think that this character has a good overlasting value. So there is also Miko, that is a farmer. As a farmer, he's a 5 because there's nothing better than this that he's doing. There's no triple element attack. So, well, how much do you value grind? I don't value it anymore. Hard you can grind for me for free. So skippable, but good for those that have don't have Mirrorlot Syra, for example. No half scores. That's the problem with the last year list. But changing it now, since I was already making lots of 4.5, it's more like the 4s and 5s are really useful units. Everything that's below that, it's neither niche or it's very specific. Katarina ranked supreme, says Jason Thomas. Jason Thomas, welcome. My mod is here. Full priority, so 6 units, 6 numbers. I don't know, seeing that would change the way that I did and people accept it. I like your feedback, but it will give me more problem. I already did a lot of half scores. The New Flux was asking me if the 5 is the old OP and the 4.5 is a new triple S. It kind of makes it feel like that. That's why we have the half system. But right now, some units will land as OP in the old tier list. And I'm not landing them as OP unless they are really, really, really good. Because the meta is changing all the time. Like, all the time. And even characters that would live like 6 months. Remember when we got Matriarch, we said, oh, this Matriarch will live 6 months. New buffers won't live 6 months. So, back in the days, all buffers were going to OP grades. And now we cannot do that anymore. Unless it's really, really game changing. Like, Matriarch is a 5 out of 5 because she can even heal. And she's the best healer in the game. Heals and buffs and restores and does not use LP. While still having all the other effects. The 2 tiers objectively must pull and you should decide. Yeah. Actually, it's like that. It's just the level of must pull. Like, the characters that are 4.5s and 5s are meta units. No questions asked. While the other ones are pull if you like. Good, but not a must. and we reach the 3-point grades that are like just pull if you like the character, because it's going to go away pretty soon. David Lee Ross says, "Are there any good gun styles coming up? At least some buffers, healers, or anything?" Don't really know. I feel like Professor is the next one, right? Because Professor is from Romancing Saga 3 and he uses guns. It should be soon. That's the version of Professor. Maybe in 2 weeks from now, 1 week from now, if they do it. And this Professor has attack and defense boost. Morale up, guard up. EOS. This is a good support unit for most people. That also does a respectable damage. But it's a hybrid one. If you are really, really lacking on guns, but I also believe that they will be releasing Emerald Beyond banners with guns. That's what I believe. I struggle to use Mama now. Hardly need her. The new one is still useful, but it will depend. It's like Tatiana got released, and not a single challenge was weak to Blunt and didn't counter Tatiana. It's not that Tatiana is bad. It's just that they released events right after Tatiana that don't show her power. So many times they release a character and counter the character in that precise moment of release. But then, like 2 weeks later, she will be good. 4 weeks later, a boss will be weak to that character. Arsenal was weak to Blunt, but he counters. How do you use Tatiana there? They always have that thing. Mon, Shared's telling everyone to wait for Emerald Beyond gun styles again. Oh man, I believe that. I still believe that. There are some gun supports coming up, David. If they are good, it will depend on global buffs. Yes. This is the next gun style, I believe. Is Hivery banner still up? Hivery's banner. I don't know if it's still up. Hivery's is a good support. You are right. I was almost forgetting about that copy. David Lee Ross says, I have the Platinum A as your main healer. That's how worthless my gun roster is. Dies super fast. Seeing is on Discord. He's evil nice guy. Hivery's banner is still up, but I only have 10,000 gens left. If you haven't pulled any banner yet, don't pull. Psychedelic says, I hope they make a new blue soon. I've been using his enhanced magic on Julian and her damage is huge, like 1 million per hit. Sadly, still no new style for blue on JP after all this time. This blue will get an amplify of a skill. We were talking about that yesterday. This Emerald Beyond banner no. In JP, they are real free welfare styles. And the new magical girl uses swords and has blue UDX style skill. And her version will be even better on global because they buffed the original skill on global. And you get that for free. And you can stack if you want. That's when do we get under global X? I don't think anytime soon. That's awesome. Yes. Enhanced Magic Plus. I made a team that used Tati to kill Arsenal. You can make it work, but you have to think outside the box. You almost forgot blue. You SaGa Magic Girl is cool. She is, and she's free, man. Finally, welfares can clear content for real. The last welfare that cleared content was who? Tag rates were user Ottoman. Neoflux, welcome back. Hi again. Reads about grades. I will urge you to use the whole scale, not just grade everything 3 or higher, and don't give out 5 except for extreme circumstances. Nobody should be 5 right now. Katarina? What about Katarina? I feel like we should have 5s, but not many. Like, not even 10. Kihachi is not 5? Kihachi is. But I know, you can see flaws in those characters sometimes. But when you say whole scale, you mean giving a 1 out of 5? Is that what you mean, or to remove the half grades? I don't give many 5s on the recent times. You should save room for future cards since you know they're coming. Ah, you're talking about not giving 5 because of future. This gives some problems as well. Ottoman for Remembrance, Rocky for Defense of Rocky. Yeah, also what's the reason Kihachi cannot hit 3 times Q on OD on Sparrow again, Kylie? You have to land a weak attack. I feel like only 3 cards get close to 1 of 5. Yeah, but what do you think about the grading here, Newflux, since you are here? I am planning to only give Katarina a 5 because she is another big player like Alkaiser was. Alkaiser was a perfect score. I still believe Matriarch to be. Ihachi, I don't think Liz is anymore, but she was. Not so sure about Joe anymore. Those are the characters that I can remember. Not many. A handful few. Compared to the old tier list system, we were having like 20 OP grades. You cannot know how those future styles will play in global, so I will not adjust that much. David says I was playing around and wondering why I cannot hit 3 times on OD. I have to land a weak target. Okay, so I will give Katarina 5, just because she does have way too many stuff. Even now, she has even bigger defense reduction. I mean, damage reduction. Khalid, I would give it a 4. Mikhail, it's hard to grade a farming character. It will be, like I said, for creator, a 5 for grinding and 2 out of 5 for anything else. Monica, I will grade her as a 4 as well. I don't know, maybe a 3.5 because she relies too much on someone else. Julian will be a 4 because he still is a very strong character in many situations. Thomas, I will give him a 3 out of 3.5 or a 3. Still has, I don't know, this skill is terrible, man. His cycle really depends on the enemy using blunts. I believe he will be more of a 3 out of 5. Sarah will be a 3 as well. Even if she works, she is extremely reliant on something that depends on some other units or very good RNG. But I don't know, that guard up is still good. I think we'll like more of a 3.5. Ellen, a 4. Still skippable. So the only 4s that I'm sure that deserves a 4 is Ellen and Khalid. No, Ellen and Julian. And Khalid. Ellen, Julian, and Khalid. So theoretically, Katarina, and then Ellen, Julian, and Khalid are the second best alternatives, and any of the other ones are just not as good. Any of the other ones are just easier to skip. Ellen, Khalid, Monica. Ellen, Khalid, and Monica. Yeah, that's right. What do you feel about this? And Katarina Banner, I'll give a gold. While Ellen Banner, I'll give a silver. I'll personally give Kat a 4.5, Ellen a 4, Khalid a 3.5, the rest are whatever. What do you think about Monica? I don't know if nowadays people really care about farming anymore, since you can always find a stage that can be stomped by one of your farmers, right? Yeah, in hard you can keep farming for you. Forever. The stage that hard farms will be updated. So, you'll be able to grind that forever. Yusara is underrated with that grading. Are you a fan of Sarah? I always have to ask that. I agree with creator 1 out of 5 for older farming. Yeah, that's like Mikhail. Terrible. I feel creator still has 1 damage reduction passive, so he's better than Mikhail. Mikhail has nothing. What did you miss? Socrates. Monica has the potential to be way better, but I think I would rather have VP gen than reduced cost. BP reduced cost generator that relies on a BP generator. Monica seems bad to you. 3.0 at most for you. So you are being a little more hard on the reviewing system. I think I saw some people on Facebook making reviews as well where they were a little more harsh. I felt like I was still being a little more generous since, you know, current time they are good. That's what is terrible to judge these units now. But I said that I want to try to move from this, so feedback is needed. That's the problem with all the grading systems, Akai. This grading system will be argued for an eternity. Yeah. Like I was watching a YouTube reviewer of X-Men animated series, and he had like 5 grading systems: one for characters, one for graphics, another for animation, another for story, other for satisfaction. Satisfaction. You think a 3.0 should be considered good, but nothing special. I'll get your feedback on this, guys. Call me on Discord, even tag me if you want, and tell me your opinions on this. Seems like NeoFlux wants a little bit of a more harsh system. Maybe this helps people that are a little bit undecided, but it will move even further away from our old systems that still graded based on current characters. Because if I give a 3-0 out of 0 now for Sarah, some people may ask me, but what about your past review from a week ago? That character is better than Sarah, but I have to explain that I'll be changing if I need to change. Time to grade equip. No! How about instead of numbers, we use it colors? So let's give a green grade for Julian. I guess Monica will work in my double dragon squad for the memes. Yes, it would. Socrates says that you should wait until characters are in game. I wanted to have a little bit of everything, a little bit of current value and overlasting value. That's why I didn't give Apollo a 5. And Apollo would be a 5 on the old system. What do you think about Apollo for you, NeoFlux? Is he a 4 out of 5, a 4.5? For example, Odin should be a 0 out of... That's very harsh. 0 out of 5. It's kind of like, this is the worst thing about the discussion about gradings. It's kind of like The Room, the movie. People say that it's one of the worst movies. And if we go to the Metacritic, mm, this is something that is a problem with everything. We can go to the Metacritic now and maybe do a dig on something that's made by games. Maybe if I do a search in Idea Factory, they make a lot of terrible games. But let's say a game named Hyperdimension Neptunia. Hyperdimension Neptunia. I just remember this game because it's an Idea Factory game. So, how many people will give Hyperdimension Neptunia 1 out of 10? A 2, a 3 out of 10? Because this game is bad, but there are worse. There are worse. But why is this Neptunia U, or this Neptunia Rebirth, a 7 out of 10? Like, what is a 7 for you? People say that anything above 5 is watchable. Some people think this game is unplayable. So, there was one time where, let's go for TV shows. That's an interesting discussion. And talk about, for example, Death Note. Death Note. Let's talk about Death Note. A friend of mine said a Death Note from Netflix. Oh my god, that it's no, doesn't have audio, so I won't have any problem. But I think even the still the animated image will give me problems. He said that this was a 0 out of 10. I told him that it was at least a 4 out of 10 or a 3 out of 10 because I said that there were good things about it, like the CGI in some scenes. There was one character that was well made. It was not totally badly directed, but for me, above 5 is watchable. Doesn't mean it's good. But people are super harsh sometimes and they say that it's a 3. My friend said it was a 0. I said, no, 0 is a movie like Birdemic. Birdemic? Birdemic. Is it here? Birdemic. Why is it not appearing here? There's a movie called Birdemic. It's not on Metacritic, but that's an unwatchable movie that deserves a 0. This is the CGI of the movie. So there is this type of discussion. Why should just barely playable game receive a 6 out of 10? Again, that's my personal opinion. I don't even know much about the Hyperdimension Neptunia series, but I know that many people hate this series because they say that the games are just full of nonsense and it's just not well made. Why are they on the 7s? Why are they on the 6? So some people just still evaluate stuff that they will give at least a 6, at least a 7, and the good stuff is on the 8s, on the 9s. Actually, there can be good stuff on the 6. Why not? Let me read the comment section here because that should be interesting. As long as the grading system is easily understandable, it's fine. 1 out of 5 with 0.5 grades, I think works. Let's just remove the grading system. People still want to see your opinion. Even when you think on the base, the core, this is still an opinion-based channel. 5 should be the units that define this content and should do. 0 out of 5 should not exist. That's a Kai looking a little more like me, that I only think 0 out of 5 to be the absolute worst. I will give a, I don't know, 0.5 out of 5 for something that's really bad, but 0 is just like everything that doesn't work. Apollo is a 3.5 out of 5 for you. Whoa, Neo, you are really harsh. 3.5 is because you're thinking about the future, man. The Room is the one that it's so bad it's good. Yeah, people love bad stuff now. You play bad games on YouTube and you get lots of views. Or should be comparable units that don't super exceed the meta. Did you watch my video about the end of the tier list, Socrates? You should watch later. 3 is generally good for the role you need. 2 is suboptimal for any role. 1 is objectively bad. You are still being a little lenient on the 3s. But maybe, yes, I should be a little more harsh. Neptune is not what I expected Cher to pull up. It's just because I know a lot of people criticize this game. Neoflex says, I'm having whiplash suddenly talking about Neptunia. What is whiplash? I don't know the meaning of this word. There's a movie called Whiplash. That I know. Okay. Zero should exist since no new units are that bad. You mean should not exist? Okay. Let me read this comment section. WP says, with games, people are really averse to low grades. Yes, people will always defend something. Maybe we should contract a movie reviewer to make a cheer. Hey, Kai says, so for 5, we want the most stable, consistent, broken, and generally applicable units. Yeah, the units that you think the first when you are building a squad and work degrading the warrants. Yeah. We're gonna be super strict. The 5 will be carrots that you bring in the most content as a staple. But Katarina will be. David Lee Ross says, like, Twilight. Twilight's not that bad. Like, I mean, not 0 out of 10 bad. Socrates says, like, default first 2 consideration. I usually think about a squad. If I can bring Matriarch, is now the new Matriarch only. If I can bring Matriarch, I bring Matriarch. Then I think about Al Kaiser a lot because he helps so much on start of fights to help without bullshit that happens. New Fluxus says, I will calibrate scale to give a 5 to the new school stuff. I see what you're meaning. You're probably talking about taking JP recent times as your standard and scale back everything that's releasing on global to that. But the problem with this is that I will need to check JP all the time to be sure. And since I don't clear content, I'm not seeing the boss fights. I'm not objectively knowledgeable to give a grade on that. But that makes sense. That 5 out of 5 is perfect. But right now, a damage dealer with lots of party sustain is perfect for us because we can slot in too many different squads, like Katarina, like I said, Kaiser. WPC is hanging out with the family. What is that? Is a reference? People may vote 0 out of 10 when movie breaks their impression of the manga, says Lobonox. And manga fans are very harsh, yeah. We don't have any useful stuff, so that's a pointless comparison, says Socrates. Chaos Piper says, if you compare it to the latest style in GP, nothing is going to be above a 2.5. I'm not so sure upon that. But there will be a lot of 2s and 3s. GP News Gustav, but we all know he will come. We're getting new banners at such a rapid pace that we will have to consider the future. It helps when considering just the meta, yes. Again, this is not our version, says Socrates. Lobonox says, yes, I hear a logical movie sometime from some harsh voters. Psychodelic says, have you watched the new X-Men show? It's great. I am watching the old one, trying to catch up to watch the new Psychedelics, because I'm a big X-Men fan. Akai says, yeah, agreed. No, by the time he comes out, he might not be as good. So looking that far is RD. Zero is the last game reuse type. Yes. I feel like Zero's, like, it's because if we are to give Zeros to new releases, we should totally ignore the existence of welfares and freestyles, because those are the Zeros. If you give a new character a 0, that means that you are just thinking about the then, not the past. Tree is not linear, most units are average. Yeah, that's where the tree is the average. If a unit works by design, it's average. That's how I try to change the review system, because when the game launched, we only had good units here and there. Then it came to a point where we had more meta units at a shorter time. Then reached a new point where every new month had a new meta style. That was the point where we got where we could not grade anymore. WP says that was a reference to Birdemic. Ah, I never watched that movie. That's fine. Cat can be 5. Now, yeah, I feel like that. Yeah, 2 is something like Kurt. Yeah, Kurt. I watched it with a bunch of friends, and that was a quoted. I think we should simplify the tier list so we can use only yes or no. Imagine just a thumbs up or the thumbs down on the add as a badge. Skip or pull, huh, Cappy? No. Katarina is a yes. Yes. Joe is a yes. Thomas is a no. Okay, you can give voting a 1.0 just to not give a 0. Okay. We should talk more about this. We should discuss more about grading stuff. Oh, yeah. But I feel like we should be ending the stream soon. It's already 2 hours and 37 minutes. I need to make the videos. I need to have enough time to make those. Today is also the anniversary of a good friend of mine, Andre. He was here 2 days ago. Andre, this is his anniversary. He makes anniversary on the same month as I do. Speaking of thumbs, I don't know if it's me, but I don't have the like buttons on YouTube anymore. Strange. I don't know if I have that. Oh, we are without a background soundtrack for 1 hour. No one said anything. I still have the thumbs up and thumbs down button. And stream. It's really dumb. You have to close the chat, Uflux. Strange. Click the thumbs up if you can, guys. But if you want to discuss something else, right now, it's because we cannot decide anything just because of a live stream, but tell me, you can tag me, like I said, about your opinion on a grading system, if I should be a little more harsh, like New Flux is saying, or if I should think a little more about the now, like Socrates is saying. I am not to say that anyone is right or wrong. They both have their own point views. So I already did a change where I am a little harsher now. I think it was more about the now in the past, but the now doesn't last for too long. So we have to give some grading based on the future too, or else people will be pulling for every new character, and that never ends. Hence why I'm saying that in this banner, it's just about Katarina for real, and then maybe Monica and maybe Khed, And anyone else here is just not that important. People can skip. But there will be people who say that, oh, this character is just that good, Cher, and they always appear. And I know, sometimes they like the character, and right now they see the potential. It's just that next week they won't be playing with that character anymore. Or in next month. Next month is better. Like the people that defended Mirror Tsara and Maka and so many other slash damage dealers like Ferdinand. Those characters just won't stay. We know. We can use them now, but next week we'll forget about them. You know that next week doesn't really mean next week, right? It's soon. So what do you guys think about that? Gold award for Katarina and silver award for Julian banner, with a priority on Katarina being Katarina first, then Khed, and Monica being a tie. I think they are a tie. Should not say who is better. If you prefer BP generation, Monica. You want damage, Khed. Khed is totally skippable. And for Julian's banner, the top pick will be Alan, right? It's Alan, then Julian, then Sarah, and then Thomas. But Sarah and Thomas are terrible. Speaking about the future, Ferdinand still works well. MNS is kinda terrible. You're talking about it now, right? I'm fine with the awards. Signed and approved by community. Banner ratings I think are fine. What? Not true supports in banner brings it down a little. Non-reliable supports even. That's a big problem. So, I guess that's the end of the stream then, guys. I didn't actually had lunch yet. It's almost 6 p.m. But I was not hungry. Sometimes it happens. So, I will try to make videos as soon as possible after I do my lunch and stuff. And again, tell me your opinions later if you think about it. And I'll see when I can make the reviews and think about all the feedback. Thanks for the stream, all of my friends. We should do more, actually. I will try to be live tomorrow on reset time, but if I do another one, I will say on my Discord channel. Nonetheless, before we leave, click the like button if you want to help the channel. There are links in the description. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and I see you soon on the next video or live stream. Goodbye.